Welcome back, everybody. Parenting, it's challenging and sometimes just downright frustrating. That's why ABC4 News has teamed up with Donna Tatro for Kids Under Construction. She joins us every Monday and Friday from LA via Zoom. Donna, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi there, Emily. Thanks for having me.
So on Monday, we looked at how parents need to remember to take care of themselves, take time for themselves. But here's another interesting topic that I'm happy we're going to talk about today. Crying. Should we be crying in front of our kids? So let's take a deep dive into this topic. And first, by crying in front of our kids, we are normalizing feelings. Let's talk about that idea and why really it's an awesome opportunity to teach our children something really important.
You know, it really is important, Emily. And I was thinking about this a few months ago. I had that kind of breakdown crying moment. I'm not going to explain why, but I went through that and my kids saw me and I felt to myself, should I be crying in front of my kids? And I actually went out and talked to a psychologist about it. And absolutely, it's okay for us to cry in front of our kids because we are normalizing feelings. We're showing our children that we are humans as well. We're humanizing ourselves to our kids, that we all have emotions and it's perfectly okay, but we have to be careful. There are some roadmap. There is a roadmap that we have to follow. We can't just, cry at any time and the intensity. So we have to really think about when we have our emotions, it's okay as parents to have them, but we have to think about who's watching.
Now let's talk about the idea of this. We can also share the process of working through our feelings so we can show them that, yes, I'm not happy, I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, I'm sad, but it can be okay.
It can be, and we have to let them know that it is okay for us to show our feelings as parents. Now, it may be confusing to them, so once we do cry and we've been able to settle down and feel our own emotions, then we need to talk to them afterwards. We need to talk to our kids and say, this is what I was feeling. We don't have to get into the details if it's not age appropriate, but we do need to explain to them, I have feelings too. I was going through this. And now actually I feel okay. I feel better about it. So having that conversation after we have had our cry in front of them is something we definitely need to address.
Okay, let's talk more about that road map that you mentioned there in the beginning. There are some warnings when it comes to sharing our emotions with our children in this way. So let's talk about the experience and the conversation being age appropriate and that it doesn't happen all the time.
Exactly. It can't happen all the time. And it can't be so intense that our children feel like, what am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? What is going on? This is chaos in my family. Because you know what? It's not their job to fix it, but it is okay for them to see it. So we have to be careful with the intensity. We have to be careful with the age appropriateness and just allow ourselves to feel our emotions when it's appropriate.
Okay, and I like this final idea. We don't need to limit this emotional talk to just our girls. It's for everyone, male or female.
Yeah, the sad reality is that even though we still are talking about emotions all the time, it doesn't always penetrate to our boys, because the fact is that boys, through society and cultural expectations, are told that emotions, they're not allowed to have them. They can have the angry emotions, but not the sad emotions. And so we really need to open this conversation to our boys. And it really has to be an ongoing conversation. For someone who talks about emotions to her two boys, myself, 12 and 13 years old, they are still telling me sometimes it's not okay for boys to cry. So that is built into society. So we have to have this conversation ongoing to let our boys know that they too need to express their emotions and cry when they need to.
Okay, Donna, I really feel that something that would be helpful in this conversation is to remind everyone about your book, because I think this is perfect, a topic that really could go into navigating this. So remind all our viewers at home where they can find it and the name and all that good stuff.
Well, the name of the book is Dear Me, Letters to Myself for All of My Emotions. And this is it's a picture book and it's for kids, but parents can read along with their kids as well and learn how to really feel those emotions and talk about them often. We can't just drop it one time. But Dear Me, you can find on Amazon, you can find in any bookstore, and I hope that it will help a lot of kids and families.
Oh, I know that it already has. Donna, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it every single Monday and Friday. We do want to remind everyone, if you've got a question for Donna, send them over to us, kidsunderconstruction@abc4.com, and check out her podcast on our website, abc4.com. Donna, have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks, Emily.
We'll be right back.